another day. I'll tell you, it's been a grind, and it seems like this year I just can't get where the turkeys are at here in Virginia. They're always on somebody else's property, and it just seems like this year it's been a struggle. It really has. It's been a really struggle. So I may pull up stakes and go somewhere else for a while and wait, come back late season. Sometimes you got to do that. If you get a chance to hunt a lot, sometimes you just got to leave a place and come back a little bit later in the season. But that's probably what I'll do here. But I want to talk a little bit about kind of what's going on right now. And usually about this time of year I try to do a video because of course a lot of new subscribers and people may have not watched the older ones, but try to do a video on what's going on right now in the middle of April, toward the last of April, and it happens every single year in most places around the country. Now it may be a little bit different way down south where season opened a little bit earlier, but what's happening right now is the toughest part of turkey season. It is the toughest part of the entire season that happens when you get down in that middle part of April on into the last part of April all the way to about the 1st, 2nd, 3rd of May. You get into that phase where I call it, they're just locked down with the hens, and that's why the goblins kind of got quiet. You know, a lot of people will write, and I've already got it this year so far, what happened to the turkeys? You know, every year I get the same questions from new viewers, which is fine, but they say, what happened to the turkeys, man? I mean, I was hearing them 2 or 3 weeks ago, and now everything's went quiet. You know, have I done something wrong? And the list goes on and on. Well, the truth is, you ain't really done anything wrong. It's just the part of the season where everything just shuts down for a little bit. Now when I say shut down, I'm not talking about they quit breeding or they quit strutting or they quit gobbling, but they just don't gobble as much, and because they're out in these places strutting, and they got 8, 9, 10, 50, 11 hens with them, where 2 or 3 weeks ago they didn't have but maybe 1 or 2 hens. But the farther you get into April and the peak of the breeding season, everything's just going to shut down because they don't got to gobble. Think about it, they don't have to. They get out there and strut in the mornings, and they might gobble a few times on the roost, like this morning. They hit the ground, it's over, for a while, and they just shut up, and they get with their hens, and they're with them about all day long because they just go one to another, just over and over and over. Whereas 2 or 3 weeks ago, they kind of had to search a little bit to get them hens. Well, that's kind of what's happening right now, is they're just locked down. Now, you can still be successful in this hard stage of turkey season. You know, this is kind of the phase 3 that I talk about. You can still be successful, but you kind of just got to slow everything down. Whereas maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, you were kind of moving quick and you were going from place to place calling. You kind of was, really aggressive. Now you kind of got to slow everything down and get into them known spots where turkeys just like to be in your area, and just sit there and call pretty quiet, sit there and call soft, and just sit there and pretty much wait them out. Wait till the hens come in there. You'll get a place where hens like to be, whether if it's in a field or whether it's on an oak ridge or wherever the case. Just get to where hens like to be, and eventually gobblers are going to come with them. They're just henned up right now. So that's one way you can hunt them. Now, that's not saying that turkeys are not going to gobble. They will gobble, even in this 3rd part of the season that I call it. It's just that they're not going to gobble a lot. But now you still got to be out there to hunt. You still got to be out there as much as possible, because a lot of things can happen. For instance, you may be coming into your property, and let's say you're coming in for 8, 9, 10 o'clock, and then you're out there, and all of a sudden you hit a call, and man, one gobbles, and he just gobbles and fired up, and he just comes running into you, and you say, man, that was easy. We're supposed to be in this lockdown phase. Well, that's probably a gobbler that got pushed off by a bigger gobbler early in the morning. He ain't got hens by himself. Or maybe he was with hens, maybe a coyote come through, or a bobcat, or another hunter on another property, scattered them. Now he's away from his hens, and you're just a recipient of that. So you get in there at the right place at the right time, and you're going to find a turkey eventually that's going to work. It's just going to be really hard to find that turkey right now. Now, give it about 2 or 3 weeks, and you get into that late season, you get into May, everything changes because the hens are nesting more, they're laying on the nest more, they've got to incubate them eggs, and so gobblers are by themselves longer. Hens get to their place to go, they stay there all day, and gobblers are out looking for hens. That's where it gets fun. That's where the late season gets so awesome and big gobblers start dying, whereas right now you can't even get a peep out of them. So this is just a tough part of the season, but you can be successful. You just got to stay patient and stay out there after them. So hunt known spots where turkeys like to come already, you know, just hunt the hens, sit in there, don't run a gun as much, be patient, and just call pretty soft every once in a while, and eventually you're going to find that gobbler. Or you might luck up and find that one that's been pushed off or been separated from his hens. Stay out there after them, because good things can still happen in this tough part of the season. But smile and keep encouraged, because the late season is coming, and that's when it can get real fun. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. Just hit that subscribe button down the corner. I'd really appreciate it. Check out all the links below. Check out my online store. Check out Spring Fever Custom Calls, where you can get my Signature Series box calls and mouth calls and all the other great calls. Check out So Outdoors. Check out Dell Outdoor Hats. The link is below. Get you one. Really appreciate everybody, and our channel's just growing and growing big this year. Keep sharing them videos. Keep subscribing. I really appreciate it. We're going to get out here. It's quitting time here in Virginia. You got to quit at 12 for the first few weeks. Want to get after it tomorrow? Maybe something good will happen in this tough phase. Stay after it.